They always told me I've always been caring, I worried about others. Just being a normal kid, shoveling snow when it snowed and raking leaves for the neighbors, just things like that. August 1st, 1973, I was born here in Detroit. Well, I was raised by my grandmother and grandfather. She was there for me every step of the way. To the day, just yesterday, we were together and she's always been my backbone. She just turned 89.
Oh, wow.
July 9th, yeah.
How do you refer to your grandmother?
As mother, I'm ma all the time. Nothing's perfect in this world, we see that, but I knew I had their love, and they were always there for me. I was a homebody, a little introverted but I love friends coming over to our house and they allowed that, so growing up, I tried to have as many friends over, I enjoyed school, especially early on, like the fellowship I got with classmates, like I still have that today. Just being a normal kid, shoveling snow when it snowed and raking leaves for the neighbors, just things like that. I think I was more of the follower because I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, because I was with my mother who's a Jehovah's Witness, and we didn't do any of that. But the friends that I had, they didn't go to school, they drink, they smoke cigarettes, they smoke marijuana, and that's where I started going. So around that 15-ish age, so I remember one of my brothers seeing me smoking a cigarette. He was like, that's not you. It was May 17th of 1991, so I would have turned 18 that year, but I was 17 when that happened. Because we were over a friend or a neighbor's house, me and one of my co-defendants, so we was there with them listening to music and all that. And so we was leaving to go to the store, me and him, to get some more stuff. So when we came down, another co-defendant drove up, like, hey, what y'all doing? We told him what we doing. He said, well, I need a few dollars, Would y'all ride with me? I'm gonna go try to get some money. So now it's us three, and he was like, yeah, I just need like a couple $100, man. Y'all just have my back on the robbery. My other co-defendant was like, I'll be with you, I got you, While we were driving around, we seen my cousin. He jumped in the car, so now I'm like, I'm thinking differently. I'm like, wow, this was my family in here, this is not something we do. My cousin was like, well, let me go out, y'all don't know what y'all doing. I said, well, no, you stay in, I'll go out. My mind was more on protecting my cousin, trying to protect him, because the victim had a gun on him. So my first thing was to go grab his gun, and it was a minor struggle, but I was able to get it pretty fast. And next thing I know, I was shooting, I think I panicked more than anything. And it was just like, it was a surreal moment. It's like, what happened? Right then, I don't want to say I had like an out-of-body experience because I can remember it detail by detail today. And that was 31 years ago that happened. So, wow, all this just happened that quick. And I think it was more of a panic situation, trying to make sure the people that I knew were protected. I was still playing the victim at that time. I hadn't took responsibility for what I had done, when I was like 18, because that's when I was sentenced. When he was like life without parole, I knew that was coming because I got found guilty, but it didn't seem like it was life without parole, what it actually meant. I more thought like, well, I have to do, the most I would probably have to do is like 20 years because this is what I was hearing. I never had any run-ins with the law, so I didn't understand the law. I didn't cry when I got found guilty, but I think I cried when I got sentenced. That was the first time I realized that I wasn't going home. My last appeal was denied. They didn't even read it, and I was like, well, that's it, this is my life. And that was around 1999. And I got to thinking like, wow, I have to make the best of it, of what I have, because this is all I have. Around 2002, I got a letter that said, hey, we're trying to help out juveniles. maybe this, this is something that I can look forward to. And then in 2003, my father died, and she's my aunt, but I call her my sister. They died like months apart. Then that kind of put me in I want to say like a downward spiral, like I didn't, I kind of it changed me a little bit. I kind of blamed myself for not being there. It was more of that. And so I didn't really care at that moment, Then I had a talk with my mother, and she was like, listen, you have to stay strong for me, for yourself. You're not in a perfect situation, so, Then she brought that up, that maybe they can help sometimes, so, we'll pray about it and things like that. So with her and prayer and stuff like that, that let that hope stay in me. That hope stayed in me that eventually something would change. March 10th, 2022, I was so focused, I knew I seen a parole board. I knew they said you can go home. I had talked to my parole agent, but it wasn't real, My brother, friend I grew up with, and my wife now, she wasn't my wife at that time, all three of them were the ones that, came and got me. So I talked on the phone with them in the morning. I gave away things to guys that I knew, was gonna still be there for a while. And so I was sitting there, and they gave me the khaki outfit they give you until you can get out to get your clothes. And, once I started signing papers and stuff, it became real to me. I became super emotional at that point, like, wow, it's this, And my mindset went to like, I can't let people down now. I have to be the example, when people that was in my situation or like situation come home, the first thing you need somebody there to kind of hold your hand through steps. And I think a lot of people, especially doing 25 and 30 years, they don't have that. So I kind of want to be that for people. I want to help people get a place to stay, And if I can do that, I feel, I've done something to help. Before that, I was playing the victim, like, oh, I didn't do this, y'all, you doing this and that. Until one day I just said, wait a minute, I had to start taking responsibility. So like I was doing a lot of praying and thinking about it, meditating on it. And I said, because guys was telling me, hey man, you got to put in a commutation, put yourself a commutation in, and doing that, I know you really have to admit to what you did. So I just sat out there and just wrote it out. And, I know the judge said something to me on sentencing day. He was like, I hope that you never forget what you did, or, it's gonna always stick. And it has. It's like every day, even today out here, I can have a great day, but once I settle down, I think about the victims, and I'll be like, wow, I changed the course of everybody's life with my action. I won't say I have forgiven myself 100%, because that wouldn't be correct. But it's more like, I'm able to deal with what I've done, but I'm not proud of it. But I have to, when people ask me about it, I tell them exactly what happened. I don't try to play the victim anymore. I just tell them how I was feeling, what happened, and, let them deal with it. So I don't hide it. My mother, she's like, wow, you a grown man now. She keeps saying it, and I'm like, Mom, still me. And she be like, no, you grown, I see it, it kind of amazes her, but it makes me proud that she's able to see that now, so, yeah. People need to, look at people more for themselves, especially kids, because kids make mistakes, some bigger than others, but they're gonna make mistakes, and that's how we learn from mistakes. We think, young kids think they know everything, so. My name is Jamal Ali Brown. I am patient. I am a forgiver. I am a believer in change. Thank you.